years of experience. Have been doing this even before I ever secured a fully funded scholarship. And I must say that believing in something, even when you haven't received it or you haven't got it, is the highest form of, I think it's the highest form of faith. And it is something that I constantly, teach people, which is believing that something is possible even when you have not received it yet. So on a weekly basis, we meet on this YouTube channel to offer clarity. Perhaps you're joining on Zoom, right? And we're streaming this on YouTube so that after this meeting, you can go back and catch the replay, right? So my desire is to support you and to make this whole study abroad thingy less complicated so that you get the clarity that you need. And so the rule of operation is to have you introduce yourself, mentioning where you're joining in from, saying, oh, my name is this, I'm from so and so country. I want to study so and so, or even if you are not sure, maybe mention some of the things you are interested in and go ahead and ask your questions. Everyone has about 1 minute to pitch who they are, why they are here, and what they are trying to figure out. The reason is we want as many people as possible to be able to ask questions also, right? So you want to be as specific as possible. Thank you so much, and let's get into it. Did you get what I said? Did you get what I said, everyone? I guess, is it that some people cannot hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so do you have questions at this time?
Yeah.
Please go ahead. Go ahead and, follow the format that I just laid down, mentioning your name, where you're joining in from, and your questions.
Okay, I'm Francis. Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah, Francis Kasuki is my name.
Okay.
And I've joined from Kenya.
Awesome.
And actually we connected from Facebook, whereby you said that we can get a connection maybe to get work abroad. And actually
you can what? I didn't get the last thing you said.
Maybe you can get we can get work abroad.
I didn't say work, I said study. Please, can you have your video put off? Because we cannot see your face. We're only getting to see the ceiling. Olayinka Arinde, Madam, please adjust your video, Madam Olayinka, or you can turn it off. Yes, we want to either see your face or see nothing. Exactly. Thank you. Go on.
Okay. Well, I think
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I connected to you through that.
So what is your question?
Okay, my question is how can I get even that connection, maybe even to study and work abroad?
So let me clarify. It is important that you know that working abroad shouldn't be the priority at this time. So what you should be doing or talking about is, I want to study abroad, not that I want to work abroad. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, right? So the goal is, or the emphasis should be, I want to study abroad, not I want to work abroad. Does that make sense? What I'm basically saying is, rather than say, oh, I want to study abroad, focus your energy on, rather than say, I want to work abroad, focus your energy on, I want to study abroad. If you get a chance to study, you can graduate and land a job and then, work, right? So, but the easiest way to get in is to go study, not to say I want to go and work. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm a graduate with a bachelor's degree
Okay,
in
do you
civil
have any
science.
other question so that we can have as many people as possible ask questions?
Well, we can now as well.
I cannot hear you.
Hello,
I can
can you
hear you
hear
now.
me right now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So actually, we can start with even advancing my education abroad. So how can I get that connection? Maybe it would be up to me.
Okay, so I am going to touch on that as we go along in the session, but if there is any other person who has a quick question, please unmute yourself and ask your questions now, because this is going to be interactive as much as I am going to be teaching. I'm going to also make sure that I'm focusing on answering the questions that you have. So please, if you have any question, just unmute yourself and ask your questions. If there is any other person who has a question or questions. Is there any other person? Okay, so while there is no other question for now, I'm going to minimize my screen and try to also share my screen, right? Give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen right now. Mm. Mhm. If you have a question, please, you can jump in and ask me. But if you don't have a questions, that's understandable. I would be sharing my screen and I will be teaching a different topic. Not a different topic per se, but make it more interactive. Okay, so for the benefit of those who are joining this meeting for the first time, I will begin to share my screen and I will be talking basically on what exactly is a fully funded scholarship, why should you position yourself for one, and what benefit, what does that even do for you, right? So without much ado, if you have questions in between, please drop your questions in the chat. If you have questions in between, drop your questions in the chat. Please try to put off your video for now. Try to turn off your video for now. If you have your video turned on, make sure your video is turned off so that everyone can concentrate on what we're doing at this time. So my name is Bisola Miriam, and this is the Free Clarity Call with Bisola Miriam. I am going to be talking about something very interesting. Sorry, that slide was not meant for you. So like I said my name is Bisola Miriam, and I'm super excited to be here with you. And the goal of this meeting is to give you as much information as possible, but making sure that we avoid information overload and give you what you really need to know. So I'm so happy to meet you here. And I will be talking to you about how you can relocate to study abroad. And perhaps, use this opportunity to change your life and position yourself for greater things. So I'm going to be teaching you a very unpopular yet the fastest and cheapest means to studying abroad. And basically, how do you then begin? A lot of people often say, I want to go abroad and work. I just want to go and work abroad. If you're studying and working for a university or working for a department, or you get an assistantship, whether a research assistantship or a teaching assistantship, or whatever kind of assistantship you get, you're definitely going to be what? You're going to be what? Working, and you're going to be going to school. So you're going to be doing two things for yourself at the same time. Now look at this slide, 10 steps to relocating abroad through study. And that is the goal here, to teach you, to equip you, and to help you learn how you can relocate abroad via studying. And so the very first step you need to bear in mind is to learn the short or long-term plan. Ask yourself, what is it that I want to do now? Yes, you want to study abroad, understood. Know the first step, which is this a short-term plan or a long-term plan for you? If it is a short-term plan, that means you want to live in 6 months to 1 year. If it is a long-term plan, that means you are still thinking, you're not sure. And if you must go in the next 6 months, then think about this second step. Choose an application term. What do I mean? Ask yourself, is this something you want to do in the spring? Or is this a plan that must materialize in the summer? Or is it a plan that must materialize in the fall? Meaning that if this has to happen for you in the spring, then you must begin to position yourself for an opportunity, a spring opportunity from the fall of the previous year, or from the December of the previous, from the fall of the previous year. So if, for instance, you're positioning yourself for spring of 2022, then start working towards it from 2021. This year, right now. If the plan is to get in for summer of 2022, which is May, June of next year, then begin to position yourself from the May, June, or from the October, November of the previous year. If the plan is to get in for the fall or August, September, position yourself from the January, February of that year, or maybe the end of the previous year before that year. Let me know if you're following me. What have I said? Summarize for me in the chat in one sentence. What have I said to you? What does that mean to you? What I've said so far, how can you interpret it? Drop a response in the chat. Let me see. Drop a response in the chat. Let me see. Drop your prayers in the chat. Drop your prayers in the chat, please. Oh, I said prayers. Sorry, drop your responses in the chat. No one is responding. Are you following? Okay, I'm going to continue. I hope others follow me as I go. Planning for our desired study year, and we can work or study too. Another thing that I said is, when should you position yourself? Let me see if you understand what I mean by spring, summer, and fall term. Let me know if you understand what I mean by the spring, summer, and fall term. Drop that in the chat. I will be looking forward to seeing that. So let's continue. So once you identify that this is something that is a short-term plan and that you want to do in the next 3 months to 1 year, then the next thing you want to do in the next 6 months to 1 year, the next thing you want to do is you want to define why you are applying. What is your purpose? What is your goal? Why exactly are you applying? And that is your application story. And you can define an application story by understanding what your personal experiences, your relational experience, your situational experience, your professional experience, and of course your extracurricular experience. How can you interpret this? Let me make this specific. Your application story is a statement that defines why you're applying. This statement can be in form of can appear in your resume. This statement or story can appear in your statement of purpose. This statement or story can appear in your letter of introduction. This statement of purpose can, or interest, can appear in your verbal or oral presentation, or in your oral, or in your articulation of your goals, whether in speech, in writing, through resume, through statements, or whatever, or even your recommendation essays. These are the different ways you can show why, or tell why, or state why you're applying in the first place. Personal experience. This is that personal experience that you have perhaps from your childhood or your teenagehood that has informed your decision to apply for a program. Help me to summarize in the chat what I mean by personal experience. Oh, someone is saying she cannot hear anything. Well, but some people can hear me. So maybe it's from your end. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat, please. So it's not like I'm talking to myself. If you can still hear me, please let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. Can you hear me? Good. Oyeniji Ojo can hear me. Aramide Folorunsho, maybe it's from your end. Please try to check your microphone. Okay, so the next thing is relational experience. What is relational experience? Relational experience basically touches on an experience that you know about, something that happened to someone you know, that then has informed your decision to want to study abroad. That is relational experience. Something that happened to someone that you know, that then informed your decision to study abroad, right? That's relational experience. Relational experience is, oh, maybe you have someone who, for God forbid, died of Parkinson's disease, and then you then choose to study abroad. That means that you have identified someone's problem, and that becomes your motivation to study abroad. Situational experience. This is something that happened around you that you probably saw or witnessed. Maybe you saw a woman give birth in a car, and you then thought to yourself that the public health system or telemedicine system in your community should be more effective, so that if a woman happens to have contraction on the road while driving, she can actually, jump on a call, and get telemedical assistance. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. What is telemedicine? I'm going to write it down and you can Google it. Telemedicine. Right? So situational experience, I've talked about that. Professional experience, where have you been working, or where are you working right now? Is there anything in that work environment that you're happy about, or that makes you angry, or that you're mad about, that you think should be better? That might be your motivation to go to school, either for an undergraduate program, a master's program, a doctoral program, or whatsoever. Does that make sense? Extracurricular. Extracurricular here, we're talking about, how do I explain this? So extracurricular here refers to what you do for fun. Maybe you have a blog, maybe you started a voluntary campaign on HIV and AIDS, maybe you started an advocacy-based organization. Whatsoever it is that you have started, that you think, that you're so passionate about, and you then think makes, makes for a good story, then you can position yourself and, build an application story around it. I started talking about stigmatization and abuse as some like extracurricular activity, and then have written a book about it. And then now I'm talking about it in my campaigns online and offline, and I'm studying about it. Those are the different ways you can build interest. If you don't keep working on yourself, there is no way clarity can come. And so one thing that I want you to know again is, there's a very important tool that I have, in one of my slides. I don't know if it's here. Let me get you that. Give me a moment. I'm going to share that slide with you so that you understand where we are and how you can position yourself for, give me a moment. So I want to share a screen with you. Okay, this is it. So for instance, look at this. No, I'm not putting it here. I'm putting this one. Look at, okay. Sorry. Okay, found it. For instance, if you look at this resource, this basically, okay. So while I know that it is possible for people to get all these explanations or understand these things by themselves, as a matter of fact, some people need some sort of support. Some people can't get this little things done by themselves. And that is why I would recommend that you get this, easy to read, easy to follow ebook, just a couple of pages. That's basically for those who are still trying to figure things out. So there's a question in the chat. What of some who has been out of school for long, has or have? Well, for those who have been out of school for long but still want to fulfill a dream of getting educated, is a straightforward answer. The answer is, ask yourself, since you finished from school, what are the things that you are passionate about? I mean, go back to the previous slide here. Think about your personal experiences, whether now or in the past, that resonate with what you're interested in, that you can pick an interest from. There is no barrier as to whether you can go to school. Age, for me, I don't see age as a problem here. So you just need to understand that there is something that you can do, right? There is some difference that you can make for yourself or for people around you. That on that ground, you can find a course of study and you can position yourself and you can get in. I hope that makes sense, right? And one tool that can help you, don't just buy this book, read it. Don't just buy this ebook, make sure you read it. Let's talk about step number 4. Step number 4, identify schools with funding. Identify schools with funding. Identify schools with funding. Now, one thing you need to understand is there are many schools out there with funding, right? But if you don't know where they are, how can you apply? There is no way. So you need to do the keyword search. What do I mean by keyword search? Meaning you go online and type, for instance, fully funded scholarships for undergraduate degrees in journalism or master's degrees in journalism, undergraduate degree in social work, master degree in social work. I mean, put these different keywords online, boom, you will begin to find answers. And if you want more clarity, I will drop the link to my YouTube channel. You can even begin to watch those videos or just copy this link, copy and paste this link, just to kind of have access to my YouTube channel right now. Does that make sense? So let's keep going. So for those who, want to have a detailed tool that will support them, I want to talk to you about this ebook. Ideally, this ebook is so how do I explain this? You know what? Let me stop talking. Let me show you a video that would explain to you what you will find in this ebook. I don't want to talk too much today. Just follow me, follow my screen. Just follow my screen. Escape. I'm going to be, just follow me. So look at this. Please, if you're not speaking, be muted. So that I'm trying to help you see what is it about this book. So this is where look at where I am. This is my store, and I'm just gonna show you a video just to kind of help you. I want you to watch this video with me. Right? I'm going to be sharing the sound. Let me know if you can hear this video, please. If you cannot hear it, then we need to find some solution.
And in this video, I would like to talk to you about the Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book. Now, this book has been selling since 1800. Now, that's a joke. But seriously, this book has been selling for 7 years. I mean, since when I started working as a study abroad coach. Now, this book is still selling, and I want to tell you a little bit about it if you haven't bought this book. The Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book was my intervention plan for scholars looking to study abroad who want to get it done by themselves without relying on friends studying or living abroad and without relying on agents. And so because I wanted to support people who...
So can you hear the video? Is the video audible? The video, is it audible? Okay, let me check the chat. Slightly, okay. Let's see. I would have to pray that no one is interrupting us. Please, if you're interrupting us, try to make sure that your sound is not going to disturb us, so that everyone can hear the video. And I'm going to be muting myself, and hopefully I would unmute myself later on so that I can check in with you all to find out if the video is.
Like me. And in this video, I would like to talk to you about the Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book. Now, this book has been selling since 1800. Now, that's a joke. But seriously, this book has been selling for over 7 years. I mean, since when I know a little bit about it, if you haven't bought this book. The Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book was my intervention plan for scholars looking to study abroad who want to get...
Okay, not audible. Okay, someone said he can't hear. So I'm pasting the video. Okay, this is what I can do. I just paused the video. I'm going to stop sharing. I will try to see if I can attempt to share on a different slide. And if it doesn't work, then I will just have you all watch the video yourself.
How are you doing? Hi, my name is Bisola Miriam.
Let me see. I'm trying to share
some.
sound.
About the Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book. Now, this book has been selling since 1800. Now, that's a joke. But
can you hear now?
Been selling for over 7 years. I mean, since when I started working as a study abroad coach. Now, this book is still selling, and I want to tell you a little bit about it if you haven't.
Can you hear? Is the sound better? Okay, yes, great, awesome. Okay, awesome. Let's continue watching.
Guaranteed Hack Book. Now, this book has been selling since the Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book. Now, this book has been selling since 1800. Now, that's a joke. But seriously, this book has been selling for over 7 years. I mean, since when I started working as a study abroad coach. Now, this book is still selling, and I want to tell you a little bit about it if you haven't bought this book. The Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book was my intervention plan for scholars looking to study abroad who want to get it done by themselves without relying on friends studying or living abroad and without relying on agents. And so because I wanted to support people who are like me, who don't have so much money to be able to pay agents, or who who don't like to bother people so much by reaching out to friends all the time, especially because everyone is busy, especially if you're studying abroad. At least I now know that as someone who is also studying here. And so the Scholarship Guaranteed Handbook was designed to help scholars like you so that you can actually apply yourself. I mean, you follow through the process by yourself. Now, what do you stand to? What's in the book actually? What is the book about? So this book is 50 pages book. It's a 50-page book, or it's a book of 50 pages as you like it. It's designed yellow background. You don't need all of that information, but specifically in this book, you would find templates for building your letters of introduction and sending to schools. You'd find, list of schools with acts that you can apply to. You'd also find template for building your statement of purpose, and also you will find template for building your recommendation letters. And in addition to all of this, you would not just get the book and then you're by yourself. I have a community called the Scholarship Guaranteed Academy, and this community is where you can get support. A lot of people who are looking for the same thing that you're looking for and who have also gotten their result are in this community. And so being a part of this academy gives you access to all of my past recorded videos of free resources that I share in this academy. Now, buying this book does not give you access to me. Buying this book just means that you will be able to get this done yourself. But you still get some level of access to me in the community, because we hold sessions in this community where I answer questions that those who have bought the book, the Scholarship Guaranteed Hack book, can also I get to answer their questions in this group. So I would like for you to not just keep thinking, keep analyzing, keep procrastinating.
So I want you to watch what some other people are saying about the book, actually.
So I want to talk about Bisola's book. I read the book back then in February, and I wanted to apply for so many scholarships back then. So I heard about US scholarships, they offer teaching assistantship and such assistantship, but I didn't want to apply because I heard I had to pay application fee. Then IELTS and TOEFL are kind of required, so there's no way they can waive it. But fortunately, I found a book on Facebook, and I emailed the next book to me. So when I read the book, I realized that all the ideas I had about the US scholarship application are not really true. That there are some schools that offer free waiver, and some of them do waive the IELTS. So that's how I went through the list of schools to give them. So one of the schools, we have Brown University. I emailed them. I wanted to apply that time. I got in touch with the students, and she gave us tips on how to apply for US schools. So at the end, I later got a PhD offer at the University of Alabama, and I used the trip that she gave me there to apply for the scholarship. So I got the PhD offer with the funding, but I later decided to come for Erasmus Plus. Then later, hopefully, I will go back to the US for the PhD. So thank you very much. Good luck to everyone.
Awesome. Let's see a great woman have a. Okay.
MSc student. So for the past 6 months, I've been trying to reach out to potential supervisors. I've been trying to apply for scholarships, but I've not been lucky. So I just stumbled on Mrs. Bisola Miriam's LinkedIn post one day, and she said she's going to be hosting like a webinar. So I attended the webinar, and I've been added to her contact on WhatsApp since then. So she held a class at one point in time, and I just thought to just give that class a try. Like, I've been sending messages, not like I know that she's going to be hosting a class on letter of introduction, how to write a letter of introduction. I'm like, okay, let me just give it a try. It's not hard, it's not bad to try. Trust me, after this class I learned something called PCG formula, and I tried it, and I sent a message to a supervisor, and I got the response the same day. Pay attention to the pictures I'm sharing. Pay attention to the date. So I just wanted to share. It's not like I've been paid for this. I wasn't paid for this. Like, I know there are so many people like me out there, and I feel like this could really, really help you. Don't try to work it out alone. Just reach out to someone who knows it. And I'm glad I actually reached out to Bisola Miriam, because she has been more than helpful. If you're needing help or applying for school, just contact this woman. She knows that.
Okay, that's it. Let's go back to business. So if you want to buy this offer, this is the link. I'm just going to copy it and paste it in the chat. Alternatively, you just go to bisolamiriam.seller.co /SG Hackbook. Or perhaps just go to my own page, bisolamiriam.seller.co. So straightforward, right? Very easy to remember, and that's it. So that is it. Let's move on. Let's move on. I just copied the link in the chats, and I'm going to copy the store URL also, so that we can move on. Let's move on, please. Let's move on. Let's move on. Awesome. So the next thing is we're going back to the slides, and we'll continue with this presentation. So now that you now understand that it's also necessary that you identify schools with funding beyond identifying what your story is. And to do that, get this book before the offer, disappears. You don't want to do analysis paralysis. The next thing you want to do is to connect with professors. Connect to professors, meaning write letter of introduction that tells a story. If you're connecting with the professor and you're just writing a generic code email with one of those generic templates out there, see, you're writing to a human being with feelings and emotions, not a robot. So you must write in a way that shows connection. And the way to connect is to think PCG. What is PCG? Get the book. The book will teach you how to write a personal, communal, and global story that convinces, that connects, and that gets you the attention of the professor. Not just the attention, but gets them to act, respond, and even follow up with you. The next thing is you want to learn how to prepare the actual application itself. The actual application, you will learn to prepare that if you get my book. In my book, you're going to be learning how to write letters of introduction, build your transcript, statement of purpose, reference letters, standardized test, application fee, all of these different things you would learn. Now, it's important that you know that actually it is application fees, not fee. So I'm going to edit this part. Okay, so you need to also understand that when you're trying to pay, do all of this many things at the same time, there's that tendency to make mistakes, right? There's a tendency to, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Oh, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, great. Let me be sure you can hear me. Okay. Because I don't want to sound like I'm talking to myself. Just keep giving me feedback in the chat if you can hear me. So the next thing you want to do is letter. Now, the letter of introduction is the first step to applying, because that is what gets you somebody's attention. Transcript, statement of purpose, reference letter, standardized test, application fees, all of these documents you will turn in when you're submitting the actual application. These are the documents you will turn in. Now, when it comes to paying application fees and registering for exams, it can be a lot of money. And so one thing you must learn is the first aspect of step number 7, which is hunting down schools with waivers. Hunting down schools with waivers. You want to be able to hunt down schools that would waive your application fees for you, not just any schools, because counting the cost is very key. That's step 8. Count your cost. You will need to pay for certain things, right? Transcript, no one will pay for that. Test scores, no one would pay for that if you don't find schools with waivers. But why pay for those exams when you can actually hunt down schools that would waive GRE, TOEFL, and even application fee, like the University of Alabama, for instance, among other schools. And by this weekend, by the grace of God, I'm releasing another ebook with list of schools with waivers. You need to be strategic about all of these things. Now, when you get these things done and you get funded, you need to plan for your visa interview. In fact, you must begin to plan for what your visa interview would look like even before you go ahead and apply. You must plan for what your visa interview will look like. And a proof of fund is what you need to use Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. You need to provide a proof of fund. What's the proof of fund? That you have funding. And if you receive a scholarship offer, then that's your proof of fund. If you receive an assistantship offer, that is your proof of fund. Drop in the chat. Let me know. Can you hear me? Admission letter is another thing you need to present as one of the documents for your visa interview. Your visa then is processed, right? Your visa then is processed. And the last thing is you need to, of course, port of entry. A lot of people get into the US, Canada, and they get a visa. Guess what? They get into the country, but when they get to the port of entry, they are not allowed to go into their study destination because they kind of miss something. That's why you need the grace of God. You need the grace of God. Seriously, you need the grace of God, and you need to be strategic. You need somebody who has worked the process from the very beginning till the very end, so that you would be able to have your own results. And let's have some quick announcements before we end this meeting. And I'm going to give room for questions again. Announcements. The very first announcement is I have a coaching plan. It's a 6-month coaching plan. I will be working and walking with you so that you get the results that you need. You won't be doing it yourself. I'm going to be supporting you, but only if you enroll in the 6-month program. And the 6-month program is the scholarship guaranteed 100 Scholars Club. Rather than pay $999 starting from the month of November, you have from now, this month of October, to pay only what? $99. From next month, you pay how much? $999 or approximately $1,000. You have the chance to pay only $99 now. Why wait? Why wait? So if I were you, I would rather pay for this offer right now. I will pay for this offer right now. Let me show you a video detailing what you get in this program. So this is my page again. Before you pay, come and watch this video for free, just so that you know what you are even signing up for, right? I want you to have all the clarity that you need so that you're making an informed decision. So that you're making an informed decision. So that you're making what? An informed decision. And this is the live video. This is the video. I'm going to share this with you. And hold on, let me share the sound. Share sound. Okay, and then let's see. Let's now share the sound. Okay, great. Let's play the video now.
Miriam, I'm a study abroad coach with over 7 years of experience and 100 Scholars Club, and why should you care? The 100 Scholars Club is an intervention.
Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me.
In order to support a group of 100 scholars looking to secure a guaranteed scholarship in 6 months. So if your goal is to actually apply to secure a
Please, can you hear the video?
Scholarship in the next 6 months, then you should listen the 100.
Can you hear the video? Drop a chat if you can hear the video, please. Slightly, okay. Let me optimize the sound. Let me optimize.
Scholars Club. So what is it about the 100 Scholars Club, and why should you care?
Let's optimize. Okay, let's share sound.
The 100 Scholars
Can you hear this?
Is an intervention program that I created in order to support a group of 100 scholars looking to secure a guaranteed scholarship in 6 months. So if your goal is to actually apply to secure a guaranteed or fully funded scholarship in the next 6 months,
Can you hear? Please let me know. Is it better than the way it was before? Or perhaps let's just manage listening to it the way it is. Can you at least hear? Please let me know if you can at least hear. Let me know in the chat if you can hear. The way it was before, or perhaps let's just manage this. Okay, I think the video is good because I can hear loud and clear on my YouTube channel. Let me.
You should listen and learn more about the 100 Scholars Club program. So I chose or decided to work with a group of 100 people for the next 6 months in order to give them the clarity and the strategies and the tools and resources that they need in order to get this goal off the ground. Now, what are the things that you stand to gain or benefit by becoming a part of this club? The first thing you stand to gain is you get unrestricted access to me once a month in a private Zoom session. Now, you have 6 month access to me on a monthly basis where I get to share with you clarity. I get to offer you clarity, answer your questions while you're going through the online course and my book. Now, let's talk about the book. The book, the Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book, is a resource that you would have unrestricted access to while on this program. In addition to the book, you get unrestricted access to my online course. Now, let me tell you that videos or a video is worth more than 1,000 words, and that is so true. And so in the video course, you're going to be learning and seeing me demonstrate and talk about the different steps. Most importantly, there are sections where I am sharing screen. The online course is so beautiful and fascinating that you get to drop your comment as you're taking the video course. You know what is also interesting? This video course has live transcription, meaning that you can hear me talk and read on the screen what I'm also talking about. You see? So even if you mute, you can also read the screen. You can listen to the online course anywhere. Now, in this online course, there are 7 modules. In the first module, you get to learn about mindset and mental shifts. In the second module, you get to learn about developing an application story that will sell. In the third module, you're going to be learning about the different styles and strategies for building a letter of introduction. You don't want to learn so much at the end of the day and not be able to get the attentions of professors, right? And that is what I'm going to be covering in the third module. In the fourth module of this program, you're going to be learning the strategies for developing outstanding application. So once you understand the steps involved in building and writing or sending funded scholarship, and at the end of the day you are denied visa, that can be heartbreaking. And so in the 7th module, I am going to be teaching you the strategies for making sure that you actually get a visa. And more than that, you're also going to be learning the strategies for helping your dependents, if of course you are a family person, so that your relocation and that of your family members is so easy. Now, at the end of now video course, guess what? I'm going to be giving you for free all of the templates that I've used in the last 7 years of working on this job. Of coaching and mentoring and supporting people in this line of work. I am going to be giving my 7 years of experience to you in form of templates for free. On top of that, you're going to be getting one accountability partner in this program. So you're not going to be doing this by yourself. There are other scholars in the community, right? And that's why it's called 100 Scholars Club. So everyone gets assigned to one person, and that one person becomes your accountability partner. You know what is very interesting about this program? It is very strict. Very strict in the sense that if you are given an accountability partner and you're not accountable to that person, or that person is not accountable, whosoever it is that is not doing his or her work will be kicked out and you will never get a refund. That is how intensive, that is how strict, that is how structured and specific this program is. So now that I've talked to you about this program, the next thing is, what is the worth? What's the investment? Now, I can actually sell this course for $10,000 right now. I can actually put it at more than $10,000 or $5,000 or $15,000, depending. Now I thought to myself that there are so many people like me who need this clarity and who cannot afford the big figures. And so the early bird fee between now and the end of October 2021 is, instead of $1,000, I have actually dropped the figure to $100. Now that's unbelievable, right? So if you don't want to miss this offer, take action now and sign up right now. Following the link in the description of this video, you get access to this program and get to learn more. Immediately you sign up, you will be redirected to a page where you are making your payment, or immediately you click this link, you're redirected to a page where you make payment. On top of that, you're redirected to a place where you fill in your details and you would get periodic emails for signing up, so that you get to learn about this program. In addition to the periodic monthly emails, you're going to be added to a Telegram community where I can share quick updates with you, with as well as the 99 other scholars in this program. Now, if at the end of this video, or even if after you've heard me and you're convinced, you sign up, you do all your work and you do not get your result, you know what? The more your money is secured, meaning there's a money back guarantee. That is, you get everything you paid for back and you keep everything that you actually got while you signed up. But if you fail to do your work, the caveat again is you would lose everything. But I bet you would do your work, because I know you really need this. I know you deserve this. I know you want this.
Alrighty, and that's it. So we're wrapping up with this session. So that's the video. This is the offer. Take the offer right now. If you want to work in a group, it's a group coaching. It's not a one-on-one coaching. So you want to get this kind of program, you need it, right? And you're going to be working alongside other people. And if, for instance, the group coaching is not what you want to just buy a book and go figure things out yourself, you can actually get the SG Scholarship Guaranteed Hack Book. And it's also something that I would seriously recommend that you consider. If you buy the hack book, for instance, you get access to the support group, right? The support group is a Facebook community plus access to a Telegram community plus a customized 30-minute chat session on Fridays, so this is something that you want to leverage on. Beginner's guide, that's the $1 offer or offers. So if, for instance, you're looking to just get quick tips, quick hacks while you're figuring things out yourself, and you don't want any kind of major financial commitment, then you should get the short offers, like the ebooks, the $1 offers that I release from time to time, like this one, right? Like this first one here. Like this one, it's a $1 offer. And something like this one, these are the different pathways that you can explore. So before we end this meeting, I'm going to ask you to go and connect with me right now. Whether you buy today or buy tomorrow or never buy, we can learn a lot from each other. And social media has actually made the world so easy. Connect with me on YouTube, connect with me on Instagram and Twitter, connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn, and definitely you're going to be getting as many amazing insights as possible. So you've got questions, time to talk. I have a little more time. We can take questions right now. If you have any question while watching the video, while listening to me, or perhaps you missed something that I said, or you didn't quite understand something I said, this is your chance to ask me any final question before we check out. So do you have questions? Jump right in and I will take that question before we go. Can we have you ask your question? Any other question right now? Are you there? If you have any question, I can take it. Please go ahead and start talking. Who is with us? Who has a question? Okay, I guess no one has questions at this time. We would move on. In the absence of question or questions, thank you so much for joining in. Let me one more time say, is there anybody who has a question? Is there anyone who has a question? Do you happen to have a question as you're watching me right now? Do you have a question? I'm trying to see those in the Zoom room actually. Okay. So who has a question? Francis, Joel, Amosun, and Olayin Karinde. Thank you for those who stay till the end and have a wonderful night rest. I guess nobody has a question. Please, if you're watching at this time, make sure you watch the video from the very beginning. You're definitely going to get some new ideas, some new insights. And most importantly, if you want to know, it is, I must say to you that the journey of 1,000 steps begins in the right direction. It's not just by taking a step. You need to start being fearless and believing that you can do this. Believing that you can do this. For instance, positioning yourself for the 6-month coaching if you want that customized support. Positioning yourself to getting this ebook if you want to be able to work it out yourself. And the earlier you catch these offers, the better. And if, for instance, you just want a quick tool to, just to kind of get a quick tip, this is another resource that you can leverage on. And above all, I wish you the very best in your endeavor and have a restful night rest. God bless you.